Well, welcome everyone to Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross. I am your host and resource for self-care and mindfulness. And today I would like to introduce you to my beautiful guest, Vera Thomas. She is a certified life coach, an international speaker, 22-time best-selling author, and an accomplished mediator, poet, and trainer. And Vera is the producer of the twice-weekly podcast and radio show, The Vera Thomas Show. She's known for developing bespoke soft skills, training and leadership programs for companies, organizations, and nonprofits. And she uses her unique poetic touch to inspire creativity in students through an after-school program that encourages self-expression through poetry, song, or rap. Vera, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here with you today.
Yeah, that's a lot. You've got a lot going on. So, but tell me, what motivated you to become a life coach, and how has your journey impacted your coaching style?
Well, I grew up with no confidence, no self-esteem. I was bullied and ridiculed and made fun of, not only by children, but also by adults. And I don't want any child to ever feel like I felt growing up. And when you consider the second cause of death for 10-year-olds to 34-year-olds is suicide, and you also consider that 64% of adults who have unresolved issues stems from their childhood, the drama, the abuse, the trauma that they may have experienced, and then it spills over into their adult life and can impact on how they raise their children. So understanding both those things, I created the programs that I've created. One, because like I said, I don't want any child to ever feel like I felt when those things were said or done to me. And I want parents to recognize the impact that they may have on their children as a result of things that they may not have resolved in their past.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing some of the trauma that we, hold on to, and you hear more and more about bullying nowadays. And like you said, the suicide rate is really staggering. And the fact that you have 10, 11, 12-year-olds talking about suicide because of bullying, that is just, unbelievable. I don't know if it's always been there, but when I was a kid, you didn't hear about that kind of thing. So I don't know if it just got more. I mean, yeah, we got picked on when we were younger, but yeah.
But today, kids are bringing guns to school, so it's no longer the fist fight, but then the words that people are, the personal attacks that are on the internet, in our homes, in our schools, on our jobs, it's impacting lives, and people are traumatized by how other people treat them. But understanding, one of the things that resonated with me and really helped me to recognize that I did not have to succumb to how other people saw me, treated me, spoke to me, or about me. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your permission." That is the quote that I try to instill in all my programs, because once we recognize who we are, our confidence, and our self-esteem, then it doesn't matter what other people say or do, as long as we know who we are. And that's what I want to just instill in children and adults.
Yeah, both, definitely. Because, we always seem to be affected or worried about what somebody else thinks. And really, when you think about it, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're individuals. We have the right to be who we are and be proud of who we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as a 22-time best-selling author, which that is a lot more, congratulations, by the way. What role does storytelling play in your coaching and your leadership programs?
Storytelling is so important, because to the extent that I am willing to share who I am, what I've gone through, is to that same extent that people are going to be more open and willing to share, so that I can provide them with tools and resources to transform their lives to where they want to be.
Yeah. And I love that you do that. And I've met more and more people. And I think that's so important, that people are willing to come out and share their stories. To me, I believe people think, they can relate and they can know that they're not alone. There's someone else that maybe experienced what they have or can maybe give them some insights. So yeah, storytelling, I believe, is very powerful.
Absolutely. And I also incorporate poetry in what I do. And there's a poem, well, it's actually one of the books that's still at the publishers that is called See Your Window, See Your Life. I'd like to share that if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead. I
All
would love
right.
to.
If I were to say to you, close your eyes and tell me how many windows you have in your living room. With your eyes open, you can see those windows, right,
Mm-hmm.
Laura? You can see those
Yep.
windows, right? Well, if you
Yes.
can see your windows, you can see your life. See the windows in any room with eyes open wide or shut tight. See the quality of your living by what you do or say. Do you see happiness or gloom in the life you live today? Are the clouds of despair the only thing you see? Do you wonder who cares to come and rescue me? If you can see your windows, you can see your life. You can change clouds to sunshine by doing what you feel is right. See the rainbows in your life, fleeting moments in your day. See the beauty you can find in what you do or say. We are what we think about every day. We live by faith, fear, or doubt, believing life is but one way. We can think ourselves into happiness, misery, or pain by seeing what we stand to lose or seeing what we stand to gain. If you can see your windows, you can see your life. Awareness is the key. You have the control. You can see your life bright. So my question is, how do you see your life right now? How do you want to see your life in the future? And what is that gap in between? And I'm here to help you look at that gap in between where you are and where you want to be. That particular poem also includes a workbook. I've developed a workbook for adults with that poem and also children with that poem. And so that's one of my rollouts as soon as I get the book.
That is beautiful, though. Thank you for sharing that. That is awesome.
Thank you.
So what are some of the techniques that you use in your after-school programs to promote self-expression in students?
Well, with the anti-bullying program called Using My Power, we first identify and define the bully, the victim, the bystander, and the upstander. I then put them through role play kinds of things to help them begin to look at and feel what it feels like to be in any one of those roles. And then we include assertiveness training so that people are more comfortable speaking and taking their power back when confronted with a bully. Children are taught how to stand up for themselves, but also be able, without disrespecting, if an adult has said something that's hurtful, then I give them the tools to help them be able to express how they feel without it being a disrespectful way of doing it. And then Instilling Greatness is a self-esteem and confidence building program where we just walk through what does self-confidence look like and then give them tools to practice looking confident and being confident and giving them tools like affirmations and things of that nature and just dialogue. And then Poetry in My Vision is an opportunity for kids to express how they feel either through writing, singing, rapping, poetry, or short stories. And they work as teams or they work individually. I also teach them presentation skills, and there's a vision board component with that particular program. What I was finding, because my after school programs, they were 8-week programs. And so I'd have the same kids for 8 weeks, and they're coming back and sharing the things that's going on at home. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm trying to build confidence and self-esteem in these children, and they're going home and they're not getting the same. And that is why I developed the program Instilling Greatness in Myself and my children, to help parents look at, one, parental styles and the impact that those styles have on parenting, to look at those unresolved issues and misconceived behaviors like being defensive, the blame game, character attacks, personalization, and just a whole lot of other things that we as adults may not realize. If we are being that way, children grow to be what they see. So if we are that way, then they're going to grow up to be that way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you do that, because I know when I was growing up, you didn't hear about vision boards and, all that stuff. That's stuff I learned later, but to have that in an after school program is really inspiring. So can you share maybe one of your success stories from your anti-bullying initiative, your Use My Power?
I had a client that was being bullied. And no, normally I work with younger kids, but she happened to be a senior in high school. She had been bullied for almost a whole year. And the mother contacted me just recently, really, not too long ago. And I was able to help build some confidence in her and what have you. But one of the problems, there was a attack. She was attacked by a group of students on the school premises. The school expelled, now she's a senior, right? Expelled everybody that was involved. The mother had been documenting one of the things that I strongly encourage when bullying is a factor, particularly where school is concerned and your child may be the one being bullied, document everything that is happening. Have videos and documentation of what is going on. As a result of the mother having all those things, and even though the school was pretty firm on expelling everybody, she was able to really support her child and rally for her child, even going to the school board and making a presentation. Then sometimes you have to, just go the whole extra mile. She contacted the media regarding this situation as well. As a result of the mother's diligence and the daughter's confidence, they rescinded her being expelled, for one. And so I'm grateful that I was able to at least give them some tools and some things that they could do to help build her confidence. And this young lady, she was already, she's a dancer and already very involved in things. But when you are being bullied and harassed on a consistent base, it is traumatizing. It causes depression, anxiety, PTSD, and all these other kinds of things. And so being able to help people recognize, to take back their power, take back your power. And so those are the tools I offer. And I also have creations, personalized creations that if applied every day for at least 30 days, that confidence is going to soar through the roof. And I've seen that happen. I had another client. She had, because of some things that were going on in the school, her grades dropped, her attitude and behavior was on the decline, and the mother contacted me, and I was able to help build her confidence back. I gave her a personalized That's My Greatness, which you have a copy of. I gave her a personalized one, told her mother, have her say this every day before she walks out the door. The mother contacted me about a month later and said that the daughter had turned around, and it seems simplistic. I can't even say the word. Simple.
Yeah.
It seems simple what I do, but it's impactful. it's impactful, and it's things that I had to do myself to gain the confidence and self-esteem. It was things that I had to do because I raised my son as a single mom after being a battered wife. And even though I had built my confidence and all that before I got married, 3 years of an abusive marriage, I lost all that stuff that I had gained. I lost it all. And
Wow.
so when I raised my son, as I left my ex-husband when my son was 6 months old because he attacked me in front of my son when my son was 3 months old. And it's like, I'm not raising a child like this. But then I realized I no longer had to just build confidence and self-esteem in myself. I had to do it for my child as well. And I started from the time he was a toddler all the way up with tools and things that, as a result of the things that I did with him, I can honestly say, even though he's 40 years old now and I have grandkids, he is one of the most positive people you will ever meet. And so he constantly says, well, Mom, it's because you did this, that, and the other, but those are things that are just so important. Looking at confidence, self-esteem, affirmations, things that you can do to look at yourself and understand who you are, and just helping people understand that is just very important to me.
Yeah, and I can understand that. And I'd have to agree with your son. You got him out of that situation because you learned you were able to pull yourself back up and look at the impact that it had for him. He had a positive, experience. So, and you talked about my greatness, and I, if it's okay with you, I would love to show that video to everybody to see what you do, because your energy and the kids' reactions to my greatness, I think, is just fantastic. So, if you don't mind, can we share that with everybody?
Sure, sure.
Okay, we will share that. You want
to accomplish a task. There's no need to ask. My greatness. When I allow creativity to flow, everyone will know. That's my greatness. When I share, give of myself.
Yes. And
I love that part. It looks like a kid having a temper tantrum, which is getting all the energy out.
yes. And with my program, after doing that, just, the first week, the second week, these kids are walking in the classroom, my greatness, and that particular school actually started using that first thing in the morning with all of their students. And so when you're saying that over and over again, my greatness, and understanding that, it does not compare with anyone anywhere. There's no need to compete. When kids understand that, and adults as well, because I also, if I'm speaking or if I'm doing a workshop or anything, I have adults do that as well. I do. I have them stand up and do it as well. If I can do it, I'm 70 years old. If I can do it, then they can do it as well.
Yeah, and I think the video shows how it can help boost their self-esteem and their confidence. It's not like you said, it's not just youth, it's adults as well. Because even in the business world, they always ask you, "Well, who's your competition?" I'm like, "I'm not in competition. I collaborate. I'm me. I'm not. I'm not in a competition." But
Absolutely.
that's what you're always taught. Well, what's the competition doing? I don't have competition. I'm me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you concentrate on you and your gifts, your purpose, your passion, then it doesn't matter about your competition because no one can do what you do like you do.
That is very true. Very true. So, and I know we have, more programs and stuff to jump into, but we do need to take a break for a word from our sponsors real quick, and we will be right back.
We got soul. Oh yeah, we got soul.
Hello, my name is Peter. I'm a Dharma master. I teach Qigong at the Bright Beings Academy. What kind of Qigong do we teach? Well, it helps you to get your mind into your body and your breath very quickly. We really start off with quite quick movements to help cater for the busy Western mind, coming into stretching out the meridians, waking up the chakra system and the danjons, coming into Jigan meditation, which helps you to really focus on the energy in and around your body, bringing you into that beautiful calm state where you can sit and meditate really easily, whereas maybe before you found it really difficult. So Qigong at the Bright Beings Academy will help you get more in touch with yourself.
Hi, I'm Bobby Aldridge with BAM Metrics. There are so many programs out there that measure your swing speed, sets, reps, your BMI, your body fat, but the one thing they're not measuring that's so essential is mobility. Mobility is the key. If you're measuring your mobility, your performance will get better and you will reduce your pain. I created BAM Metrics to make it easy for people to repeat the exercises so they could do it properly at home on their own. It's simple, it's easy to do, and from a senior to a pro athlete.
So, Vera, you have so many wonderful programs, but how does your I Believe in Me program help to foster a sense of self-worth in students?
I Believe in Me is an all-school assembly. And that particular workshop, well, it's an assembly. And I get the kids involved and engaged. We do an overview of bullying. We talk about that. And then, I share my story. And then I just get them engaged. I have a poem called I Believe in Me. I don't have it memorized, but I have the kids actually say that out loud during the course of the assembly. I ask them a lot of questions, and it's really engaging, very engaging. And so they constantly, during the course of the assembly, you will hear them saying out loud several times, I believe in me, I believe in me, I believe in me. And if you're constantly saying, I believe in me, even after the assembly, that's going to reverberate in your brain. I believe in me. And so clearly I love kids, and I do have a great relationship with them, but I also feel that I have a pretty good relationship with their parents and individuals. One of the things, like with my coaching, I customize my training so it's not cookie cutter, so whatever the needs are with the individual or the family that I'm working with, then I tailor the training or the coaching to meet those needs. So there are a lot of different things that we may delve into, including emotional intelligence, um, being positive, looking at conflict, looking at anger. All of these things play a part in family dynamics, even in the workplace as well.
Yeah. Positive affirmations like that are, yeah, it's fantastic. And I love how you meet people where they're at. I think a lot of people got burnt out on like coaching or this, or they're afraid to do it because it's just, they feel like they're just trying to be put in a box. But
Right.
when you can meet people where they're at and you think outside the box, which you are clearly thinking outside the box, that is just wonderful. It brings a whole different positive energy to it. But
Really
at the
does.
assemblies, do you ever have parents there as well, or is it mostly just the kids?
Well, you saw that the video that you showed,
Uh-huh.
a lot
Yeah.
of those were parents that were in the background. I have a program where, in that particular case, I first did my bullying program with the kids, the third, fourth, and fifth graders, each class separate. And then the next session, fathers came to the school and did vision boards with their children. And then they went into my Instilling Greatness in Myself program that evening. And then that particular one that you saw, mothers came to the school and did a special project with their kids and then went into my program that evening. What's interesting, that particular day, as the parents, the mothers were engaging with the children, there was a little boy. His mom is not in the picture. His father is incarcerated, and his older brother is basically his guardian. And while we were going through the session, this little boy says, "I can't stand to look at myself in the mirror." I said, "What did you say?" And he said louder, "I can't stand to look at myself in the mirror." Oh, I'm telling you, Laura, my heart
That's heartbreaking.
it was heartbreaking. It was, I mean, to the point where I got emotional just thinking that a 10-year-old can't stand to look themselves in the mirror because of the things that people have said to him. And he was the cutest
Wow.
little boy. And the mothers, the way the mothers rallied around him and showed him so much love, it was beautiful. But what was even more impactful was how his peers rallied around him and showed him so much love. That was a memorable experience that I will never forget, because we're so quick to want to downgrade kids and say that they're this, that, and the other. But the way these kids showed that little boy love, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm a crier anyway. It's so easy for me to cry. And
Yeah.
it just broke me up. I was so emotional because I don't want any child to ever feel that way about themselves, ever.
They shouldn't have to. I mean,
And they
not at that
shouldn't
age. You're
have
supposed to
to.
be young, enjoying life, learning and living. And yet, like you said, we've got bullying, we've put labels on things, and it's like, get rid of the labels,
Yes.
just if a person's not your jam, then there's other people. That's okay.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to go out of your way to be
Absolutely.
mean or whatever. You just find who is what I call my tribe or your tribe. Find out who your tribe is. And
Absolutely. And where cyberbullying is concerned, block them. You don't even have to read what you're hearing. Block them, and move on, and realize that just because people are saying these things does not make it true.
Nope. It's called unfriend, block, whatever, delete.
Yes. Block and delete. Absolutely.
Block and delete.
Yes.
Yeah, people think that, I just have to shut everything down. You have control over it. You can block, you can delete, you can, yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have a bullying petition on change.org addressing the issue of cyberbullying, particularly of YouTube creators. There are YouTube creators that have actually either committed suicide or contemplated suicide because of how they were treated on the internet. There are not only YouTube creators, but across the board, cyberbullying is causing all kinds of issues across the board. And I know our government, they're doing things to address the issue where kids are concerned. But they need to do something where adults are concerned as well. And so this petition is designed to, I want 100,000 signatures. And with those signatures, I want to go to Congress. I want them to look at the concern, the need for them to create more stringent laws and policies. Those signatures will also go to Google and YouTube so that they can better enforce the policies that they have and create new ones that are more stringent, because this has got to stop. But we have to learn how to take back our power. Take back your power.
Yeah. If you, most of the times when people do that, they just want the attention. They want to know that they're getting to you. And if you don't give in to that, it's just like, don't like it, change the channel. It's okay.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, can you tell us more about the ways in which you help parents instill greatness in their children?
First thing I do is I want parents to look at themselves, because you can't instill greatness in your child if you're not feeling that greatness yourself. So the first thing I want to do is help parents look at themselves and how they're feeling about their lives. Just like see your windows, how do you see your life as a parent right now? How do you want to see your life as a parent right now? What are the gaps in between that we need to address? Once we've addressed those issues, then we can begin to look at, what can I do to instill greatness in my child? Some of the things that I share with parents: one, don't make your child feel guilty to get them to do what you want them to do. Oftentimes and that is a form of bullying, actually, and it's a form of manipulation to try to get a child to do what you want them to do and make them feel guilty about it. And unfortunately, adult children feel that way sometimes about their parents, because even as an adult, being a sibling, a lot of times I had a client whose mother, my client had gone on a business trip, and she left her dog with her parents. When she got back home, her parents told her that they were not giving her dog back, and that they were going to take her dog with them to another state. And she felt guilty about saying to them, I want my dog back.
Oh my gosh.
So
wow.
I had to let her know, okay, this is a form of manipulation. What you need to do is let your parents know that I appreciate you watching my dog for me. I am coming to get my dog before you leave. Period.
Yeah. And it's really not funny, but it's been used since I was a kid, and a lot of people, I see people use it today because they feel like they have to do something dramatic to like make a point. But it's like, if we just change the way we communicate.
Yes. Communications is
you
key.
can get a lot further without that.
Yes. It's not what we say, but how we say it that can make all the difference in the world. And one of the other things that I share with parents, don't constantly, a lot of times we'll say, tell a child you're lazy, or you're this, or you're that. Well, if you keep telling a child that, trust me, that's what you're going to see. So be careful what we're saying to our children. Be careful. And yelling is another thing that I talk about, because that can cause all kinds of problems. It can cause depression. It can cause anxiety, panic attacks, physical problems, stomach aches, headaches. And I also say to parents, think about how you feel when someone yells at you. Think about that, and then amplify it in a child. Now, there are different types of yelling. There's yelling to prevent a child from getting hurt or hurting themselves. That kind of yelling is understandable. There's that yelling where we're raising our voice, but we don't think we're yelling, but other people think we're yelling. Like, I'm talking loud right now. Someone might think, she's yelling at me. No, I just talk loud. So anyway,
people just have a naturally loud voice too. I know some of them.
Yes. And it may appear to be yelling, and you just need to say, can you kind of tone it down a little bit, But then when you're yelling out of frustration, out of anger, out of being annoyed, that's the kind of anger, that's the kind of yelling that can cause all these physical, mental, or emotional problems with your children. Now, I'm not saying I never yelled at my son, but when we know better, we do better. And so I have to learn, and we can tell when we're getting riled up and getting ready to go through the roof with our voice. We can tell when we're getting ready to do that. So calm yourself. Mindfulness. That's what this is about. Mindfulness, be mindful of that rise in your temperature when you're trying to talk to someone and you're frustrated or angry. Calm yourself. One of the things that I say to myself is, peace, be still. Peace, be still. And as I tell myself that, I'm calming myself. Or breathing. And I know you talk about breathing. Breathing is so important.
Yep.
When you feel yourself getting all riled up, breathe. Take some deep breaths. And if you
take some deep breaths, count to 10, and think before you just blah.
Yes. Think before
because so many of us, we just blah. And then once it's out there, it's not like you can get it back. You can apologize all day long, but the damage is done because once it's out there, you don't get it back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So be aware. My mother used to tell me, Vera, think before you speak, because I had a tendency to just blurt things out. But anyway, so think before you speak.
And I've heard that one too, but you know what? The parents don't always think before they speak either.
That's very true.
And it goes both ways. But I think as a society as a whole, that would be better if we did more thinking before we just blah.
Right, exactly. And if you're writing things out before you send it, read it. and see, how is this going to come across? So that's important as well. And then one of the other things, comparing your children. Why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like your brother? When we do that, we are minimizing the other child and making them feel less than. And even though there may be like 3-4 kids in the house, and there may be that one that you're that's your favorite child. Don't let the other kids know that, because it minimizes who they are. And they'll begin to look for love in other places because they don't feel as loved as this special child, So.
Right. Yep. It's like, love them for the unique self that they are. You may not always understand or relate, but if you go with an open mind and maybe hear them more, because I think we talk too much instead of listening. And if you actually listen more, you might be able to understand better where they're coming from. So,
absolutely.
And I always say, because I've been through it before, you see people go up, I'm like, okay, now think to yourself, because there's nothing promised in this world. Do you really want that to be the last thing you ever said to that person?
Absolutely. So important, because anything could happen where that may be the last time you see that person or say anything to that person.
We just get so wound up, so caught up with everything, and then we just, it's like, okay, great.
Yes. So learn to calm
I think it's part
yourself.
of our society that we have, because we're always wanting everything yesterday. And it's like, you know what? It's okay to slow down.
Yes, absolutely. And back to listening, a lot of time, listening is a skill. It is a skill to be developed. I actually, one of the tools that I have a listening assessment that I give to families or individuals to help them identify, well, am I really listening, or am I focusing in on my phone while somebody's talking to me? Am I thinking other thoughts while someone is talking to me? Am I giving them my full attention? Or am I thinking about what I'm going to say as a result of them talking to me? So be intentional about your listening. Be intentional about your listening. How many times do we hear a child say, "You're not even listening to me"?
Yeah. Or if you tell them, they say yes. And then later on, they're like, "You didn't tell me that." I'm like, "You said yes. You answered," which means you weren't listening.
Right. It's a two-way street.
Yeah. Well, you've done a lot of work as an international speaker, and you have influence on your radio. And how has that influenced your radio show, the Vera Thomas Show? Because you have a radio show and a podcast.
Yes. My show, and I've had my show now for 4 years, and it's international as well. I have listeners all over the world that listens to me, and thank you for putting that up there. Awesome.
Oh, you bet.
And so please like, subscribe, and listen. My show is designed to uplift, encourage, motivate, and inspire and educate. So I have guests on my show that do those things. And I know, Laura, you're coming on. I'm excited. You're going to be on in a week or two. And
Yes,
so,
I am. I'm looking forward to that.
yes, I am looking forward to it as well. And so what people get from my show are tools, encouragement, it uplifts, it motivates. My guest just yesterday, she is called the Baby Whisperer. You might want her on your show. And what she does, she has this unique way of having kids, because when you think about it, the most pliable time in a child's life is from infancy up to 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She has babies that are less than 2 years old saying their ABCs and singing, and it's amazing. You might want to check out the show that was on yesterday. And so, yes, those are the kinds of guests that I have to talk about. And I have authors, entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, activists. Everything is on my show, as long as they do those things that I'm asking for.
Yeah. And that's one thing I'm sure you love too about the show too, is we get to meet so many fascinating people
Yes.
across the world, and you just learn all kinds of more, new things. But yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what has been one of the most rewarding aspects of your work as a certified coach working with families and individuals?
Seeing transformation, seeing how they were when they came to me, and then how they were when they leave, and staying in touch with them. I had a young girl. I have coached kids, singles, and parents. And I had a young girl. She was in med school, but she didn't have any confidence. She's had all these accomplishments. And so as a result of her working with me, I was able to help her see that, one, you're beautiful, you're smart, you've got all these things going for you, and having her do affirmations and step outside of her comfort zone and go out by herself and all these kinds of things. And it really made a difference in her life. She gave me a testimonial, as a matter of fact. And so being able to just see transformation, see a person go from not feeling secure and confident, having these unresolved issues, and then as the result of the work that we do together, seeing them change. That is just, seeing kids change. I had another client. It was a sister and brother. And the little boy had a speech impediment, but he wants to be a speaker. So when he came to me, his confidence was not very good. By the end of us working together, he was confident enough to do a video testimonial for me. It's on my YouTube channel. Yes.
That's beautiful. And I've seen that with other people before too. And it squashes people's dreams. And it's like, look at some of your high powered speakers, even they make mistakes and stumble. We're human. And, for people that judge, most of the people I find that judge, you won't find them behind a camera or speaking, because they don't have the guts to, they don't have the guts to do it, or make a fool of themselves, whatever,
Exactly.
It's what you enjoy though. It's going to be what you enjoy doing.
Yes.
And obviously you love working with kids, because you just light up when you talk about working with kids.
I do.
And you work with adults. Do you still work with companies and teams still, or do you mostly stay with the kids and parents?
Well, my purpose and passion right now are kids and parents. However, the same issues are in the workplace as well. And I
Yeah.
know that because I've done all kinds of trainings in for companies, and oh my God. And so I can do that. I don't have a problem doing that because it's important as well. And there are parents in the workplace. So,
Well, you have kids and parents in the workplace. I mean, it's like you said, if you haven't got rid of it as a kid, you take it into parenthood, then you take it into wherever you work or wherever your area. It doesn't just magically go away unless you
right.
realize it and work on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I have stories and stories regarding working with companies. And again, I customize everything I do. So I have them complete a survey, the employees, management, they complete a survey anonymously. And then I take that information and develop the training based on that information. And I had one company where it was a family owned business. The owner was old school, and so he was an autocratic leader, which impacted on performance and productivity. His son, who was second in command, had serious anger issues, which impacted on
Mm-hmm.
productivity. And then there was an employee who, there are three basic types of employees that cause problems. One, the gossiper. Two, the saboteur. And three, the agitator, the person that throws stones and then hides behind the cloak. And
Yep.
this was one of those, okay? And she created havoc in the workplace. What I was able to do was help empower her coworkers and the effective communications, instead of saying you, saying with facts and evidence, when this happened, I felt, and then call her out on her stuff without saying you did this or you did that, but the impact that her behaviors had based on, again, facts and evidence. As a result of the employees taking back their power, it got too hot in the kitchen and she left. And so as a result of her leaving, and then the anger issues, I dealt with that with the son, and had him begin to monitor his actions and his behaviors and the times when he got angry and how he responded and related and reacted and all that stuff, so that he would be aware of the impact that was having, not only on his staff, but on himself as well. Because when you have all that negative stuff happening, that can make you sick.
Yeah.
It can make you sick. And so dealing with him, so his turnaround was amazing. And so when I first walked into that place, the negativity was so thick that you could feel it. Have you been in places where you walk in the room and the negativity is so thick that it just hits you in your face? Well, that's how it was.
I've worked in plenty of those where I just wanted to turn around and leave. I'm like, don't want to be here.
Yes.
But that's the nice thing about being an entrepreneur. You can create your own
Yes.
drive.
Yes.
Don't have to do that anymore. I prefer to walk in where you feel all the positive energy.
Yes.
You're happy to be there. You're happy to see the people. It's a whole different world when you have that.
Yes. And that's the kind of atmosphere I like to generate in workplaces, the team building and the effective communications, conflict resolution, all that stuff. I do all that stuff. And I incorporate those things when I'm working with parents as well.
Yeah. I mean, workplaces, life. I mean, even places you go in life, and it's just like, if you go into a place and all you hear is like nothing but drama, this, and that, I'm like, I just don't go back there because it's like, I really don't need that.
Absolutely. I'm the same way.
It drains you.
Yeah, and it is draining. Negativity is a weight. It is such a weight. And then you wonder why people are walking around with their heads down and not being able to look up. All the stressors that we have in our lives. We can eliminate those things, especially if you have faith. You claim to have a faith in a higher power. Give that stuff to them. it to them. Let go and let your higher power take care of what needs to be taken care of. The serenity prayer is very helpful too. Accept the things I cannot change. If I cannot change it, why am I worried about it?
Yep.
Change the things I can. If I can change it, why am I worried about it? And I really feel that. I feel strongly about that. Change what you can and accept what you cannot. Most things we have some power and can make some change.
Yep. And if you can't, you need to just let it go and walk
Let
away,
it go.
because it's not worth your health. It's not worth your life. It causes a lot of stress, which is just, stress is a really big cause of a lot of people's illnesses and ailments or even death.
Yes.
It just depends on how far it goes. But
And the thing is, it's not the stress that kills us. It's the way we handle stress. Because there's good stress, which is called eustress, and bad stress, which is called distress. And also dis-ease is this disease is dis-ease in the body, and so being able to recognize, because going back to school may be stressful, but it's good stress. Getting involved in a new relationship may be stressful, but it can be good stress. But those negative stresses that can cause us, the way we handle the stress, that's what it is. The way we handle stress is what can make us sick.
Yeah, absolutely. So Vera, your show, when does it air? It's on YouTube, the Vera Thomas Show. So I know you can find you at YouTube.
Yes.
But you have two, right? Twice a week?
Twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is an hour show. And it's just very relaxed. People come on and we just talk about the issues and look at resolution. Yes. So
that is awesome. Yeah. So you definitely want to make sure, if you haven't got the QR code yet, but click and subscribe.
Yes.
Because I know, like myself and like Vera, there's lots of us that we have wonderful people out there, and it's always all about others. Supporting and helping others, bringing information. You don't know what you don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when we know better, we do better.
We do better.
Yes.
And I think we do better together.
Yes. I love that. Yes. Absolutely.
Do better together. So what do you have coming up on the horizon for you? You have anything new in the works? What you up to?
Well, right now I'm in the process of relocating away from where I'm living right now. And so I haven't set anything yet, because I got to get some things together, but I'm hoping to start promoting a summer camp. Last year I did it online, but I would like to be able to do it on location somewhere and just have kids come in. So I will be promoting that within the next couple of weeks, because now is the time to be looking at summer camps for families and things of that nature. So I will be promoting that really soon. I also have a mastermind that I'm going to be doing to just do an overview of parental things that parents can do to instill greatness in themselves and their children. But I don't have dates set yet, so
that's okay. I know you'll let me know, and we'll make sure we get that out to people so that they know. So
thank you.
I want to thank you very much for taking the time to and joining us and sharing all that with us. I so love your energy and your passion for helping kids, and it's such an important topic with the bullying and the inner greatness. So I'm glad you do that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Do we have any more time?
Got 2 minutes. Yep.
Okay. I'd like to end with a poem. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Children are people too. Show them the good inside of you. Give them praise for tasks they do. See their light shine bright through the light which comes from inside of you. Children need all we desire so much: the love, the hug, the kiss, the tender touch. The attitudes we express to them are the messages they learn to send. From examples like you and me, our children grow to be what they see. Do you show hatred, indifference, or love? Do you yell and scream no matter what in spite of? Have you shared kind words with your child today? Have you truly listened to what they had to say? Or do you just ignore and continue on your way, hoping they get the message and go somewhere and play? Children are an extension of all that we are and the most valued God-given gift by far. There are so many things they must grow to understand. We must guide and lead them with loving outstretched hands. Teach and treat children as people too. See their light shine bright through the light that comes from inside of you.
That is beautiful. And on that note, we will say goodbye and we will see you all next week.
Goodbye.